250 years ago, the canals were a new technology. For the first time, you could fill a boat with coal or materials or cotton, and you could move it long distances very cheaply, very quickly, compared to horses and carts. So they changed the economic prosperity of nations. Scotland was built upon the canals, so too were many other countries. So they were transformational, and therefore they drove huge amount of investment in innovation and engineering, and they were the technology of the day. After 100 years or so, they fell out of fashion because new roads, new cars, new modes of transport, railways came along, and the canals largely fell out of favour and they began to decline. Today, they're becoming important again because of the cost of moving goods and materials is expensive, it's not good for the environment, and therefore transportation by water is becoming popular again. But also canals have wider uses, and therefore their purpose is as important today and for tomorrow as they were in the past. If you look at a map of Scotland and you see where the canals are, you will see that all of Scotland's population, 90% of Scotland's population, is beside the canals. So the canals drove Scotland's economy, and therefore people populated the canal sides, and that's true today as it was 250 years ago. So our canals really serve the most densely populated areas of Scotland, and our people have wrapped themselves around the canals, and that's why for us canals remain really important. So they shaped the past of our economy, and they're beginning to shape the future of our economy. Our canals are now being used for tourism, but now for water management. In Scotland, we own the second biggest amount of water in our nation, and Scotland has lots of water. So we own Loch Ness, and the Loch Ness Monster belongs to us in Scottish canals. So we own water, and we use that water to sell for drinking. We use that water to do many, many things. On our towpaths beside the water, we use that to carry fibre optic, and we serve all the communities beside the canals using fibre optic. We take energy from the canal, where the canal flows down hills. We take energy from it, and we use that energy to create heat, and we put that heat into our local communities. We also have everything from hotels to hotel boats to restaurants to pubs to theatres all round about the canal, and we own all of those and we manage all of those, but we use canals therefore for many, many different purposes. Some canals are built purely for transportation. Some canals were built historically to protect land, to make sure that land doesn't flood. And in Amsterdam, for example, was about creating new networks that allowed transportation to move around the city, but actually was it just as important as to protect land from water, to stop land flooding. So they served two purposes, one to move goods and transport people, and the other was to build infrastructure that allowed water to be managed. And that is why canals are fundamental to Amsterdam and to Holland generally. In Scotland, it's slightly different for us because of our geography. If you look at Amsterdam, it's flat. If you look at Scotland, it's mountainous. And our canals run between the mountains. And in fact, there are some areas that would never flood because of the way that water flows when it rains. It can easily be flushed through the valleys and rivers of our country. So our canals aren't really for flood defence and for flood mitigation and management of water, much more about now about tourism. I want our canals to be as important for our children as they were for our forebears. It has its time now. We are making major contributions to the effects of climate change. We are making major contributions to public health, and we're making major contributions to driving a more equal economy across our society. So our canals are not nice to have, but fundamentally important to our nation. Water has shaped our world for centuries. Communities and civilizations have grown up round about water, and it's absolutely key to survival. What we did around 250 years ago was begin to construct new waterways that connected coasts to inner cities and then to coasts again. So we expanded our waterways to expand our economy. So water has been absolutely key to our economic growth and jobs and the growth of civilization. It always has been and it always will be.